There was no roadmap that existed on the United States journey to creating the national parks. This was something that had never been done before, and there would be nowhere else like it in the entire world. Thanks to a small group of people, the preservation of America's most beautiful places took its first steps. Naturalist John Muir was debatably their driving force. He helped to bring the grandeur of these beautiful places into the public eye. John Muir's advocacy for the national park system started with Yosemite, a place he compared to a natural Gothic cathedral. His lobbying led to the creation of several national parks, including one set aside in his name. However, without his help, we might have never seen our national parks encompass what they do today. The first steps taken to preserve one of these natural wonders was on June 30th, 1864, when President Abraham Lincoln gave control of Yosemite Valley and Mariposa Grove to the state of California. This was the first time that the government had protected land for public enjoyment and laid the foundation for the national park system. It wasn't until 1872 when the first national park was created. Yellowstone National Park was our nation's first official national park. The bill that was presented to Congress in 1871 drew upon the precedent of the Yosemite Act of 1864, which reserved Yosemite Valley from settlement and entrusted it into the care of the state of California. On March 1st, 1872, President Ulysses S. Grant signed the Yellowstone National Park Protection Act into law. There were still many issues left unsolved. In 1886, Congress refused to appropriate money for ineffective administration. On August 20th, 1886, the U.S. Army took charge of Yellowstone. The Army strengthened, posted, and enforced regulations in the park. Troops guarded the main attractions and evicted troublemakers, and cavalry patrolled the vast interior. Poachers proved to be the greatest threat to the well-being of the animals inside the park. Due to their actions, the bison were almost exterminated inside the park. In 1894, soldiers arrested a man named Ed Howell for slaughtering bison in Pelican Valley. At the time, the maximum sentence possible was banishment from the park. Emerson Hughes, a well-known journalist, was present and wired the report to Forest and Stream. Its editor, renowned naturalist George Bird Grinnell, helped create a national outcry. Within 2 months, congressmen passed the National Parks Protection Act, which increased the Army's authority for protecting the national treasures. The conservation president, or Theodore Roosevelt, left a lasting impact on the national park system, which he so greatly adored. He doubled the number of sites within the national park system. As president, from 1901 to 1909, he signed legislation establishing 5 new national parks: Crater Lake, Oregon; Wind Cave, South Dakota; Sully Hills, North Dakota; Mesa Verde, Colorado; and Platte, Oklahoma. However, another Roosevelt enactment had a broader effect: the Antiquities Act of June 8, 1906. The Antiquities Act enabled President Roosevelt and succeeding presidents to proclaim historic landmarks, historic or prehistoric structures, and other objects of historical or scientific interest in federal ownership as national monuments. Roosevelt did not take long to put this new executive authority to good use. By the end of 1906, he had proclaimed 4 national monuments: Devil's Tower, Wyoming on September 24th, and El Morro, New Mexico; Montezuma Castle, Arizona, and Petrified Forest, Arizona, together on December 8th. Roosevelt did not take long to put this new executive authority to good use. By the end of 1906, he had proclaimed 4 national monuments: Devil's Tower, Wyoming on September 24th, and El Morro, New Mexico; Montezuma Castle, Arizona, and Petrified Forest, Arizona, together on December 8th. America's best idea, our national park system, sets us apart from many other great nations. The parks symbolize the exact idea that is inscribed over the Roosevelt Arch: for the benefit and enjoyment of the people. This quote, which is taken directly out of the Organic Act of 1872, truly embodies what John Muir, George Bird Grinnell, Stephen Mather, and President Roosevelt were all fighting for: a place unlike any other on the planet that is shared by all Americans.